Each year, Confetti goes off timetable and invites some of the biggest names from the music, media and games industries to deliver talks, masterclasses and other events for our students. Over the years, students have watched live demos, enjoyed songwriting workshops, tried out new technology and benefited from Q&As with some huge industry names. Since 2006, we've brought scores of industry guests from across the creative and entertainment industries to Nottingham. Industry Week 2023 was no exception. Let's have a look at some of the best moments and highlights our Confetti students experienced throughout these 5 amazing days. This year saw lots more in-person events with flexibility for students to tune in online.
First off, thank you all for being here. Those tuning in online, hello, we see you.
Oh yeah, hi everyone online, all those who are stuck in the snow.
This business, you have to just keep trying. But I did, so I've given myself that advice anyway.
Fantastic.
Don't give up, don't give up.
With the events came tons of student opportunities to do it for real, supporting both our tech and production teams behind the scenes.
I think it's very important that colleges like Confetti exist and universities like Confetti exist, because I think the only way we're going to sort of really educate people in the creative industries is by, giving them real sort of life experience and speaking to people actually in the industries, which I know Confetti's always been it's been at the centre of its ethos.
So hi, thank you very much for coming, and thank you to Confetti for inviting me. My name is Murugaya. I'm an artist, illustrator, designer, architect. I wanted to call this talk Searching because I am still and forever will be searching for my creative voice, experimenting with new ideas and looking for new things to introduce in my work. The way I look at the world is architecturally. I always see architectural elements. I see staircases, I see building facades, windows.
Thank you so much, Murugaya. It has been awesome, an inspiration and some gorgeous artwork as well. So if we can have one final sort of round of applause for Murugaya.
Thank you very much.
I think events like this through Confetti, the Industry Week, is something I didn't have at uni. This would have been amazing. I was really interested in film and photography and, really interested in science, and I had no idea how I would combine those two. And events like this, they would have been so helpful to me. People coming from different careers, different areas, and being able to sit there, ask them questions and hear about how they got into it would have been invaluable for me.
My name is Simone Giampaolo. I am a London-based director of animated films, mostly working in commercial short form, but also TV series for British and international TV. I was at Confetti 2019, and coming here today, I can really see how much has grown, how much more sci-fi and futuristic all these corridors and new theaters are. It's really impressive how much has grown. This time it looks like it went up to a whole new level in terms of facilities, in terms of staff. So yeah, well done, Confetti.
Once the ball starts rolling for you, people around you will then take care of the business side, but that leads me to the question of you need good people around you. It's a real gamble, it's a lottery, you know what I mean?
Good morning, everyone. You made it through the snow. Good to see you. I'm Dean Jackson, got Brian and Simon, Soda Jerky here. I've become obsessed with their podcast over recent months. They've spoken to anybody who's anybody in the world of composition and writing music.
Our thesis, I guess, isn't it, with the podcast, is that waiting for inspiration is not that good an idea.
Yeah, you've just got to show up at the coalface, really, and it doesn't mean that every idea you come up with is going to be a good idea. With the bad songs, you're still practicing your craft, you're still honing it, you're learning all the time. You learn as much from the bad songs as you write as the good songs you write.
Strategic Partner Manager at YouTube. Can you tell us what that means and what your day-to-day looks like?
My name is Chris Mackey, Strategic Partner Manager, SPM, at YouTube. What does that mean? So first off, I sit on our top creators team. So I'm the lucky one that gets to work with our top creators in gaming and sports primarily, those two verticals in the UK. So often you'll sit around a meeting, whether it's now or 10 years from now, you sit around a meeting table about something creative and nobody's willing to take the first shot. There's something about loading up the first arrow, putting it out there. You could miss the target by a mile, but at least you've put something out there that people can work off of. And whether you're doing this as a creator on TikTok or whatever it may be, or whether you end up working for a marketing agency or being a TV director, somebody's got to take that first shot. Be confident with your experiences, that you bring perspective to the table. I'm desperate for it. I rely on you guys for that. The platforms rely on you for that.
So how do you use this augmented reality? So we're still seeing the real world and everything in it. There's no disconnection from our environment, which means we can move with speed and confidence in that space. But now we throw a handful and blasts of energy come from our hands towards our opponents, who can throw themselves out the way. They can raise energy barriers in the air to try and defend themselves and their team. You get a whole load of elements to it. So it can be looked at as being sort of like Street Fighter Live or Dodgeball on steroids, and it's kind of somewhere in that meeting ground between all of them.
So my name is Rhianne Murphy. I'm a narrative designer at Square Enix and a Confetti alumni. So I currently work for Square Enix, which is a video game publisher. I work as a narrative designer, which basically means that I get to help create the game, craft the characters and the story, and make sure that the narrative experience of the player is the best it can possibly be. By the time you graduate, there are roles that haven't even been created yet for you to get involved in, and that piece of advice has always rang true. The games industry, as part of a tech field, is ever growing, ever changing, ever evolving, and so your skill sets now, even though you might find that you can't find your place for your passions right now, you might fit into certain boxes but not quite, the chances are that by the time you graduate there's new roles or roles that have changed and adapted where you find that actually your skill set now can fit those.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your grave. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I want to recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now.
I've seen the college today and the performance spaces and the studios, and I've just been totally blown away. I've met some of the students as well who are lovely, and it just seems like a really well kitted out, really supportive environment, and something that I'm really in admiration of. I wish I'd had access to something like this when I was studying, because there wasn't much like that at the time when I went to uni. So yeah, I'm really impressed. It's an amazing place.
So happy I'm here. You know, I've had so many opportunities to work in the industry and work with lots of amazing people. I've not regretted it once. The thoughts not even popped in my mind, like, should I have gone somewhere else? It's the facilities, the funding, everything's amazing. All the equipment we have, I'd argue it's the best in the country, personally.
Confetti is not just an amazing place to study. We are the cornerstone of a collaborative community of students, industry-connected staff, and commercial businesses in the creative industries. Are you interested in attending events like Industry Week as part of your studies? Let's take the first step. Book onto an open day to find out more about what we offer at Confetti. See you there.
I'm not backing down, 'cause the future is now. Not backing down, 'cause the future